some? Don't hold the table.
We're driving cars on a Mars tonight. We're blasting off to the stars tonight. We wanna go, go. We wanna go, go.
Got it. Got it.
Good morning, YouTube. So we have finished breakfast. I managed to get a couple shots of breakfast as I was stuffing my face and forgot. Oh yeah, I'm a content creator, so I did it. I think we're gonna head to town because we realized like you just can't carry that many eggs for 5 days. Like it's almost impossible, especially 2 families worth of eggs. So we're gonna stop and get that. I think we're out of milk.
Yep.
So we didn't bring enough because lots of kids. If you don't have so many kids, milk's not a big deal. But we have a lot of coffee drinkers and we have a lot of kids. So milk and eggs. And then, yeah. And then I'm excited. We're all excited for what the trail is going to bring. Last night we decided to play a card game, sort of.
Comfort game.
Yeah. A card game. What's it called? Spark. So it's a game. It's a card game called Spark. And we each picked 4 cards to ask each other, and it got deep in a good way.
It did.
But it got deep. We were like, yeah, tomorrow let's play Uno or Phase 10. So
It was good.
but yeah, it's been very nice and peaceful. I'm glad we did this. So yeah, we're gonna enjoy it. The puppies are eating. China was spoiled with eggs. She's with Alani back there somewhere. But she was fed eggs this morning. China's a pain in the butt. She doesn't eat her kibble on the trail. I don't know why. She just doesn't. But she'll eat anything else you give her. So she's had her protein. She's good. Puppies are wanting to play. We almost lost the puppies last night. Everyone had bunked down, and then we were about to climb into the tent. I think I was already in the tent, and Jesse was about to climb up, and he went to go grab the dogs to put them in the tent. No dogs. Dog's gone. And so we have the collar on them that makes a noise and lets us know where they are, lets them know we're calling them. And since we've been training them to understand what hearing that means, we hit the button on their collars, and they were probably 500 yards out in the woods. And the collars will reach out to them at 1.5 miles, which is good. So luckily they stuck to their training and bolted back. But that scared me. There's a lot of dog to lose in the woods. I was so scared, but they came back. So that's thankfully wonderful. So hopefully that reinforced that if they hear that, they better come. And now I know they'll bolt. They just bolted to go like have a little midnight run.
I kept telling Leanne, I was like, I need to hurry up. She's like, well, I need this, I need that, I need this. And I was like, I finally turned around when we were done, and they were gone.
They were gone. Yeah. So everybody's accounted for. Good to go. But it's morning, and I'm not a morning person, and I don't have anything else to say. So I'll talk to you in a little while. Okay, bye. Life really can seem to move at hyper speeds, especially when we're having a blast wheeling and overlanding. So let's slow down just long enough to introduce to you an amazing cup of coffee. Navigo Coffee Company sponsors this episode, creating for you 4 uniquely flavored roasts using small batch sourcing to bring you the freshest beans for your next all-terrain adventure.
Produced by outdoor enthusiasts, Navigo Coffee Company takes beans from regions such as Colombia, Honduras, and India to produce distinct and original blends of flavors from maple and honey to chocolate brownies and browned butter. Ensuring your next cup of coffee beside a campfire is as unforgettable as your adventure. If you would like to try a cup of Navigo Coffee Company, be sure to click the link in the description below or use our Instagram link in our bio.
So yesterday, while we were on the trail, they took Kai and I had Cortana. This is Cortana. Cortana has the black eye. So today we decided we'd switch dogs. They'd have Cortana.
Bring your hand in.
I would have Kai. So that's what we did as they're hooking up the trailer. In the short time we did that little trying to figure out if that was a trail or not, and it wasn't, so we backed out, hooked up. In that time of me being out of the car, recording, what have you, apparently Miss Cortana here couldn't handle it. Whining and whining and whining and whining.
Roger.
So we switched dogs back. They are keeping Kai for the day. I am keeping Cortana. Now Cortana, I was going to keep to breed, obviously. And then I realized that she's a little bit too small. Like, she's not too small for breeding, but she's smaller than I would like. So I was like, well, I will find her a beautiful home like I have found for all the other puppies and try to find another Kai in a later litter. Well, Dogos, not the only breed that does this, but Dogos are known for hard imprinting on one person. They'll imprint on the family, but within that family, their pack, they will hard imprint on somebody. I can't sell her. She's mine. There's nothing I can do about it. She says I'm her human. So I am removing her ad. She is no longer for sale. And I just have to hope that she will grow to where I can ethically breed her. And we are a 3-Dogo family. Now, for anyone wondering where Miss Mama is, Elsa, one, we don't have room. Could we have squeezed her? Yeah, especially with Kerbo taking a puppy. But Elsa doesn't love Bye-Bye as much as I wish she did. Even though she's the most well-behaved. She can be off-leash almost 24/7. She won't chase anything. There's no prey drive in here. You know, she's chill. She really will. But she doesn't love the drive. And she's big. And she's on her heat. And there's just a lot of reasons why. Just not this time. Maybe at a later time when I get my own Jeep. And there's 2 of them. Obviously, then all the puppies going won't be a big deal. But for now, just these 2. And also understand, right? Once these girls are full grown, we won't be able to travel in one Gladiator with 2 Dogos unless we had somebody that wanted to hold on to a full-size Dogo. Because right now they're puppies. So they fit in our lap. And that won't happen
Carl said
forever.
I'll update you when we get 8 in the area. I'm like a solid hour later than the ETA I gave you. I managed to do this anytime I go on a trip. Would you like to reply? So, there is a chance that message that you just heard. So yeah, Carl Tiemann, he's the one with the Jeep Commander. He may possibly meet us. So since dinner and then this morning, and obviously now we are trying to coordinate him meeting up with us. So that is a possibility. He's obviously, like you heard, an hour later than he thought, which was about 12, so maybe around 1, maybe 2 in the afternoon. We will meet up with him depending on if we have comms and can get a pin out to him. So that's the plan. So we are going to continue on the Talladega Trail in Alabama. Day 2. Let's go.
Hey guys. So I am walking up what is an almost complete vertical trail. Cameras never do it justice, but there's Jesse down there. This is street vertical. Let me show you what I'm about to walk up. Like, this is a hike. Like, just to give you an idea how much I have to get this knee, like, like this is completely vertical. So I'm gonna get about right here, and Jesse is gonna climb this sucker, and I'm gonna film him. And just to give you an idea, that's Jesse. Kerbo is hidden about right there. So let's see how it goes. Okay, I'll move to the other side of the itty bitty little trail. That's the trail. And it keeps going up there. But here we go. Okay. I'm not chasing him. But that straight drop. So he's gonna continue on. That was a lot. Because after he passed me, I ran up here to catch up. Oh, look at him go. He's turning and going up the mountain. I can't keep up. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay. It looked really cool though, with him coming up. I hate the camera never does it justice. Because if you were here watching it, that was really cool. Gnarly trail too. A bit of rock, cliffs, whoops, big ones, and really, really, really steep incline. A little bit of articulation, not very much. Like if this trail was rated, the only thing that might give it a higher rating is just the incline because it's straight up. But it's just a hike. So like, yeah, this is where I like finished running up the mountain to meet him so that he could keep going. And he's probably snaking up this mountain to the top. What I'm curious to know, because if you look, that's the peak of the hill, mountain, whatever, up there. So I'm curious to know what's up there. And as you can see, like there's a lot of that swooping up. There's hills dipping in and out all over here in Alabama. So, but yeah, I really wish this didn't look so flat to you because it's not flat. It is straight down. But it's really pretty. You know, it's got all the things, you know, the really pretty forest. It's springtime. The moss covered. It's just, it smells good, you know, when you get to the mountains. And higher elevation, fresh air, it just smells different. And then you've got, not too far from here, you've got people camping, so you can kind of smell like their campfires and like all the good stuff that we all love, people that watch this channel, right? It's all, I'm living it right now, and it's great. It's awesome. Much needed for my soul. First night review on the ARB awning is that it's awesome. It really, really is. We actually managed to get it plugged in. I think I showed you that. We didn't know if we were going to be able to get the cord to reach all the way to the cigarette plug, but eventually Jesse's going to get the plug to make it USB, and so that might be a little bit easier, but it worked, and that's great. It's really nice to have. We have the rooftop tent. Rooftop pulls out on one side, and then the awning stretches out the other side, so you sort of get a wraparound, and we almost never go on these trips anymore without Kerbo with us. It's really going to be rare now. And so with that being said, between his setup and ours, I mean, like, it's the Ritz-Carlton, really. So that's wonderful. But I guess now's a good time to tell you that most of the people that watch our channel are not subscribed. And while I don't fault you for it, because I do the same thing, I try to subscribe to the ones that I really enjoy, especially more now as a content creator. Because now I understand how important it is to the channel to have subscribers. I also want to welcome the new subscribers to the channel, because we did just get a few new ones recently within the last week. I think some of them are from Weston's birthday video. And if that's true, it was a pleasure doing that parade, and we're glad to have you on the channel. I am by no means an expert on editing or YouTubing or content creating, but I do it to the best of my ability, and I am learning how to do it on my own every time I make a video. I try to do little things here and there. Some of them you might notice, some of them you might not. But I really care about the feedback of my channel. It really does matter to me. I take criticism really well. So if there's something that we haven't done that you want to see, or if there's something we have done that you want to see again, if you want to tell me that my channel sucks, if you want to tell me that there was something about the video you really liked, if there's something that you see in our gear or our rig that you're like, hey, I think you could do this better, or you have a question about yours, anything, feel free, do not feel scared to leave feedback on the channel, because I absolutely welcome it. It doesn't matter what it is. So hit the bell so that you get notified every time we drop a video. I try to do my best to drop a video every Saturday at 10 a.m., but I am a full-time mom of 3 children, and I breed Dogo Argentinos full-time. And I am now training the puppies we kept from the last litter, Kai and Cortana. They are on the trip with us. And we have a little Yorkie named China. So I am a full-time mother of 3 and a full-time mom to a bunch of puppy dogs. And then I go out on the trail and I try to do the best I can to create awesome content. How was it?
Awesome. Yeah,
Did it get better?
Recorded. Oh yeah, it gets way better. Like 20-degree incline and decline, and then I think it was max 12-degree pitch, like roll.
Yeah, I'm glad I stayed out of the car.
It was fun. Like, yeah, I actually started
Having
recording.
Comanche flashbacks.
Yeah, Comanche in Colorado.
Yeah. There's that butterfly. Okay, back to the Jeep. Oh, nope, he's back. The butterfly just hanging out. I don't know, I have a thing for butterflies. They're pretty. Okay, back to Jeep. Could I show you any more of squirrel mentality? Butterfly. And there you have it. He said it was awesome.
I'm not big on the serious pitch. I know being a Jeep girl, I probably should be. Maybe one day I will be, but I'm not there yet. I think it's something that I need to have the ability to drive my own. Like, not my own Jeep, but just like do it myself in order to gain that confidence of being in a rig. But even so, I think I would be way better doing it if I'm driving than being the passenger because, I had some really bad car accidents in my past. And so like they've screwed me up as a passenger. They make me really, really scared sometimes depending on what's going on. So like pitch and sudden stops and all kinds of things. But that was a lot of fun. And yes, butterfly. I'm a total tard. All right, I'm going to get back in the car. I'm going to try not to fall down the mountain. And I'll see you in a little bit. Hey guys, excuse me. Okay, so we found this spot. Kerbo found it. It's pretty awesome. One, beautiful lake, spring water lake in the Talladega National Forest. So that's where we're at for lunch, as I've shown you. And what's also kind of cute is, there's butterflies everywhere. So ask and you shall receive, huh? Okay. Take a hint. Yeah. So it's very spring-like. There's flowers everywhere. You probably can't see them because they're small, but like there's little white, like almost like baby's breath, like everywhere. It's so pretty. And it's quiet. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So we've all finished a sandwich and a pickle and some chips. And so yeah, we are going to pack up soon. And then we are trying to push. This forest seems to have a lot of cool places to like stop and film, but so far this trail isn't about the trail, at least where we've been. There's been some cool offshoots, some cool things, but I'm not gonna bore you with a bunch of sped up footage of Black Trail. So, yeah. There's so many butterflies and moths, like everywhere. Like that's all moths and like pretty ones. Like it's so cool. So okay, we're gonna pack up and we'll see what else we got. Talk to you soon.
My phone's fine.